Hello, welcome to today's episode of Juicing the Numbers. I am your host, Joshua Tracy.
And I'm not. It's Corwin.
And today we're going to be resurrecting a topic that we did our literal second episode. I think our first real episode, but our second episode overall, which is positional weighted runs created plus, which is Fangraphs' advanced metric, which is meant to be their all-encompassing catch-all offensive contribution stat. It combines and weights various aspects of how you perform as a batter, such as assigning weights to singles, doubles, triples, and homers, as well as walks, hit by pitches, on-base percentage, all gets kind of tied in. And then it's put in a familiar presentation where 100 is league average. Anything above league average is how many percentage points you are. Sorry, anything over 100 is how many percentage points above league average you are, and lower is how many percentage points lower than league average you are. So if you are a 120 WRC plus hitter, that means you are 20% better than average. If you are 80 WRC plus of a hitter, that means you are 20% worse than average. We see this a lot in baseball.
Yes. All the plus stats.
Yeah, it's a very, very common way to represent stats because it's exceedingly useful. Mm-hmm. Standardizing the statistics as such makes comparing things easier. But one of the, as we mentioned in the first iteration of this topic, positions are not all created equal, and some positions are more so about defense than they are offense, which thus makes an average hitter in baseball potentially better than average when it comes to his positional hitting, or worse than average. So we thought we would take that idea and look at it where we currently stand, since we are approximately halfway through the season by games played. We are recording this on July 2nd, our first episode recording in July. And then we thought we could tie it into current performance heading into the All-Star break, since All-Star game, specifically, since we have that roster finally announced.
You know what? I just want to say, I hate the All-Star break.
No baseball?
Yeah. It's just like, what do I do with my day?
Especially because, like, for me, the Yankees were, like, had three off days with 2 days of baseball for the London trip, and then they have nothing but away games for the next 7 days, and then another 4 off days. Like, I swear, like, these week and a half is going to feel like there's basically no baseball for me. It's going to be, I hate it.
I don't know. We'll just have to suffer through it.
Yeah, just roll with the punches, I suppose.
Like we always do.
So you ready to get into this?
I'm all set.
So, before we get to the All-Star part of this, let's go position by position, because it's actually some pretty interesting results in here. In particular, catchers. So when we did this last time, we used 2018 data, because last time we did this, the baseball season hadn't started yet.
Right.
And so now I'm finally able to use data from the season we're currently in. So I used, in 2019, catchers are basically hitting league average. I did a minimum of, I think, 200 plate appearances because, again, as was mentioned last time, not a lot of catchers have enough plate appearances to count as quote-unquote qualified hitters.
Right.
Qualified means, I believe it's that you make at least 3.5 plate appearances on average for your team. I think that's how it's done. I don't think it's a set number of plate appearances. I think it's for your teams. It ends up being a set number come the end of the season.
Right.
But I believe it's you have to make 3.5 plate appearances per game for your team for you to count as a qualified hitter. And because catchers just have so many days off, they rarely ever do that. So I set their minimum to 200 plate appearances. So we have still only 20 catchers, which is, 10 teams short of being a full stack. And based on these numbers, yeah, they're pretty much hitting league average,
so
which is not the case.
Catchers as a whole are hitting league average?
So Wilson Contreras leads all catchers in WRC+. He has a 140 WRC+.
That's very good.
Very, very good. His PwRC+, adjusting for his position, is 139.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the biggest change. Gary Sanchez has a WRC plus this season of 135. His PwRC plus is 135.
Do you think that's because the catchers who do have, like, how many catchers have 200 plate appearances?
19. I miscounted. 19.
19. I was going to say maybe it's just because it's only the really good catchers that are up that high, but
no, because
most of them.
Danny Jansen and Austin Hedges, who are the bottom two on this rung, at a WRC plus of 48.
Oh, Danny Jansen has been... this is completely off tangent, but for the baseball dynasty startup we had, I went all in on Danny Jansen because I just fucking panicked and needed a catcher. And holy fuck, am I so disappointed with myself. He sucks. Major dog.
Yeah, he is butchering this season. It is quite ugly. Although somehow he still has a positive wins above replacement of 0.4. He must have good... he has very good defense, apparently. And okay base running. But yeah, his hitting is a shit. So, yeah, fucking go figure, right? It seems at the very... Maybe this is a better way of putting it, because we have... As you just heard, the low end of this is 48, and the high end of this is 140, and there's only 19 catchers. So it seems like, actually, from looking at this a little bit more closely, it's top or bottom.
Yeah.
There's very, very few hitters. The only hitters within plus or minus 5 of 100 are Joseph Fegley of the Athletics at 104.
Great name.
Wilson Ramos of the Mets at 102. And Jorge Alfaro of the Marlins at 96. And those are the only three players. And also Christian Vasquez of the Red Sox at 105. So those are only 4 players within plus or minus 5, which is basically what I like to call like the league average,
right,
between 95 and 105. That's it. Everyone else, the other 14 batters on this list, or catchers on this list, are either below average by enough of a margin you can say that they're below average, or above average by enough of a margin you can say they're above average.
What's Austin Hedges' defense? What's his rated at?
According to Fangraphs, it's 19.8.
Holy shit. I was going to ask why he was starting over Francisco Maia, but that explains everything.
Yeah, so very good defense there.
Double the next high. Oh, not quite double the next highest guy. The next highest is 14.
15. JT Realmuto.
Oh, sorry. All right, I just can't read.
But yeah, so I thought that was kind of surprising, because when we talked about this last time, if I recall correctly, Gary Sanchez had somewhere in the neighborhood of an 80 WRC plus.
Yeah, it was not average.
No, he was below average, but his PwRC plus was like I think it was 96. Like it was just below 100.
Yeah.
And because catcher's typically a defensive position, that's why you'll see guys with these 48 WRC pluses running around, because they have both these two guys have very good defense, and that's what the position tends to prioritize, not hitting.
And I mean, Gary Sanchez didn't have a great year last year.
No, he had a terrible year last year. He batted 180 something.
Yeah,
it was
really
bad. But the point being that his PwRC plus jumped 16 points or so.
Yeah.
Whereas this season, everyone's ecstatic in catcher.
Which is the weirdest thing.
I literally downloaded the Excel sheet twice from Fangraphs and did the math in it each time, like twice, just to make sure it was right, because it felt so wrong, because this is usually the position
where
that has
there's
the
a huge
biggest
difference.
jump. Yeah. And it wasn't.
Fucking A, man. We'll have to check back on this at the end of the year now.
Yeah, I'm very curious about how this maintains.
I don't think it can. I really, I know baseball is one of those things where miracles happen, and, once you get a certain sample size, it's pretty much set. But, this is too weird, even for baseball.
I know. So the rest will fall pretty much in line from at least the short glance I took at it when I did this. I wanted to save most of the reactions for now.
Mm-hmm.
First base, leading in WRC plus with 159 is a tie.
Is this AL and NL?
Yes.
Everyone? Okay.
But I divided that one for the All-Star stuff.
Perfect.
159, it is a tie between Josh Bell and Pete Alonso.
Go Josh Bell.
So their positional runs created, weighted runs created plus is, it drops pretty significantly. Get over it. What do you think?
It just looks like something straight, like your face was straight out of a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
How far do you think it goes down from 159?
I already missed your question. I was so. distracted.
So as we had mentioned when we did this last time, and I'm going to stop saying that because assume if we make reference to something, it was from the last episode.
Okay.
Not you, the listener.
Okay. Yeah.
First base is an offensive first position, very much so not a defensive first position. So you get a lot of sluggers at this position. So we're expecting this number PwRC plus to be lower. Pete Alonso and Josh Bell both had a 159 weighted runs created plus. What do you think their PwRC plus is?
140.
130.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is a very tough offensive position to be an outstanding batter at.
Honest to God, I was going to guess 130, but based off of the complete lack of change for catchers, I was like, I
threw
feel
you
like
off, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's just not going to be nearly as much as I think it's going to be.
So there's no one who's like at 100. We do have 4 batters who are in the plus or minus 5 range. Edwin Encarnacion, currently of the Yankees, but started the season with the Mariners. He has a 128 WRC plus, which is only good for a 105 PwRC plus. Yandy Diaz of the Rays, a 127 WRC plus, a 104 PwRC plus. Justin Smoke of the Blue Jays, a 117 WRC plus, good for a 96 PwRC plus. So batting 117, batting 17% better than the average MLB hitter, actually has him as being 4% worse than your. These are all qualified starters, by the way. I should make that point since I brought it up earlier. Only catcher did I put an innings plate appearances limit. Everyone else, the limit is being qualified. So this could have fluctuated more depending on if I had put in a plate appearances limit like I did. I just figred qualified hitter was fine. So 4% worse than the average qualified hitter starting at first base. And Eric Hosmer, 116 WRC plus, good for a 95 PwRC plus.
Did you include designated hitter in this at all?
So I don't include anything. We had this discussion last time too.
It's just what
Fangraphs will just put you in there if you made like seemingly any plate appearances there.
Okay.
So that's why Edwin Encarnacion and Yandy Diaz, although I guess Austin Meadows is DHing a lot for the Rays, but that's why like Edwin Encarnacion is here. And also Daniel Vogelbach of the Mariners is on this list.
Gotcha.
Like, so yeah.
So does that include only plate appearances when he was at first base?
No, all plate appearances.
Perfect.
Again,
okay.
Yeah, we
got it.
This came up last episode too.
It was many months ago.
No, I'm just if anyone else.
Right. Okay. I'm just saying.
None of it's going to be directed at you.
All right. I'm just
Yeah.
just making sure.
Second base, also surprisingly tight. I don't think this changed too much last time we did this, but it does not change much here either. Do you think it goes up or down?
Up.
It does, very sparingly.
Really?
Very sparing. So DJ LeMahieu leads all second basemen with 145 WRC plus, and his PwRC plus is 147.
That's not much at all.
No, and that's about it. One or 2 points higher for everybody else. So second base is pretty much as is when it comes to WRC plus.
So that's just got to be rounding shit, right? Why sums one?
They're probably going to get like
sums two.
Yeah, it's going to be rounding. Yeah, so there's probably like either
1.4 or 5.
Yeah, there's going to be a solid point for positional adjustment, and then the rest is going to be the rounding with
like,
the additional points for defense / where they were in their own WRC
right. Yeah.
Shortstop, another defensive position. At least the last time we did this, not the case now.
Really?
Yeah, this goes down.
How? How are shortstops that good?
I know. So, well, this is one thing that I think is gonna influence it. Alex Bregman's on this list because
he has appearances as
what's his face? Carlos Correa spent a lot of time on the IL again this season, as he's unfortunately becoming prone to doing. So Bregman's been the starting second shortstop for the Astros for a bulk of the season because Correa's just been so
hurt.
Yeah. So he leads this list with a 148 WRC plus, and the PwRC plus for him as a shortstop goes down 10 entire points to 138. Yeah. Next is Xander Bogaerts at 141. His PwRC plus is 132. And then Gleyber Torres of the Yankees, 137, goes down to 128.
Are analytics ruining baseball?
I'm kind of uncertain about what's exactly happening here because so far I'd say the two of the three most defensive positions, being catcher and shortstop, with I'd say center field being the third,
Right.
are performing so much better at batting this season than I would have predicted, to the point where the positional adjustment for shortstops actually brought WRC plus down. That's really surprising how great shortstops are mashing this
It's
season.
so anti-intuitive.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not quite sure why this would be. I mean, obviously we're seeing a very stacked period of shortstops in baseball right now.
Right.
I mean, you look at the top 10 in this list, it's Alex Bregman, which you can put an asterisk next to, but that's fine. But then Xander Bogaerts, Gleyber Torres, Jorge Polanco, Manny Machado, Javi Baez, Tim Anderson, Corey Seager, Trevor Story, and Francisco Lindor. And that doesn't even count the litany of names you're going to know that if you go farther down this list. I mean, those top 10 names, if I told you any of them led the league in anything, you'd go, all right, that's fair.
Yeah, sure.
So it could just be a little
Yeah.
mini golden age right here.
This is nice. This isn't a bad thing. Like, we're complaining, or quote-unquote
We're surprised.
complaining. We're surprised. But this is still a very good thing for baseball.
Oh, 100%. Especially because shortstop is just one of the most fun positions.
Exactly. I was just going to say, like, fun players play shortstop. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
High-energy dudes. Super exciting.
So that was a bit surprising for me. But, yeah, lo and behold, there they are. The most average shortstop in terms of hitting is Dansby Swanson, who has a 107 WRC plus and a 100 PwRC plus.
And
he is an all-star?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, is he on the reserves?
I'm going to check it out. Just
that's
double check.
awful. How? He's not even performing well overall before you even take his points down. A 107 WRC plus is fine.
I'm dumb.
But he's literally number 13 on this list.
He did not make the team.
Okay, good. He doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't, even though he was the highest vote getter for a while.
That must have just been
Or
meme
second.
magic.
I hate stuff like that.
Third base. Who do you think leads this list?
Third baseman, Nolan Arenado.
Nolan Arenado comes in at 10th.
Whoa.
Yeah, that surprised the fuck out of me, too.
Give me some Matt Chapman.
Matt Chapman comes in 5th. It's a National Leaguer.
Anthony Rendon?
Anthony Rendon.
Attaboy.
A 157.
Should be a starter.
He absolutely should be, and we'll get to that later. He is a 157 WRC plus, which gets brought down 19 points by the positional toughness that third base has, as it is. Third base is tough because it is a defensive position. It's the second most offensive position, but at the same time, bad defense goes very noted.
Yes. Manny
So-
Machado.
Yeah. Oh, no. Manny Machado won a gold glove when he played third base.
Right, but
Actually, he
like
won a
the
platinum glove when he played third base.
It was a bad reference, but the difference between the two positions.
No, this is true.
Who's a really bad
Miguel
defensive-
Andujar.
Yeah, there you go. I was going to say Vlad Guerrero, but his defense has actually surprised me with how good it's been.
He's got a strong arm. I think he just needs to learn when he can. Because I remember from the games I've watched him play in, he doesn't set his feet much when he has the time to do so. So I think he's trying to impress with his defense more than he needs to. Because when he realizes he has the time to make the throws he needs to make, spot on, totally spot on. But that comes with mentally adjusting to the pros.
Yeah, of course.
I think he'll be. His defense is very good. Or it is, I should say. It is good, and I could see it being very good. But, yeah, so our top 5 here is Anthony Rendon with a 157 WRC+, plus, good for a 136 PwRC+. Plus. And then Alex Bregman makes this list again with a 148 WRC+, plus and a 128 PwRC+. Plus. So, as his positional WRC+, plus as a shortstop, 138. His positional WRC+, plus as a third baseman, 128.
Big difference.
Very big difference. 10 entire percentage points.
Can you do me a favor before we move on? What is Matt Chapman's defensive rating?
It is 6.
Whoa.
Although 6 is the second highest on this list.
Who's higher?
David Fletcher of the Angels at 8.5.
The
Yeah,
fuck?
don't forget, catchers get a lot more for defense because that's the position.
Right.
So 6 is actually like very, very good.
I'm surprised David Fletcher's on there, Mr. Contact King.
Oh,
I always
that's right,
talk
that is
about
that guy.
David Fletcher as like one of my favorite players because of his game, but it's Matt fucking Chapman.
Yeah, clearly you have a new reason to love him.
Oh, dude, Matt Chapman, I would fight for. I'd get into a bar fight for Matt Chapman.
I'd get into like a bar fight with Matt Chapman just to like hug him at the end and like whisper stuff in his ear.
Did we talk about our birthday game at all? Like us going to see the Yankees A's?
Nah.
We're going to go see the Yankees versus the A's for our birthday. And the only reason I wanted to go to the A's game, because I'm not a fan of the A's or really the Yankees, I just want to go see Matt Chapman play in person.
Honestly, that Oakland team's just so much fun. Like Matt
I
Chapman,
know.
Chris Davis, even Marcus
Matt
Semien is
Olson.
having a good season.
Yeah.
Matt Olson's having a good season. I
I
genuinely
would have
like.
been super excited for Frankie Montas.
You think he'll be back by that point?
I don't
80
think
games,
so.
right?
Yeah.
He might be back by that point. We're going to go in
He
September.
could be.
Regardless,
That'd be cool. But yeah, let's get back to it.
So the top 5 for third base, once again, is Anthony Rendon, Alex Bregman, DJ LeMahieu, making this list as
Nice,
well since he spent
nice.
a lot of time there, Chris Bryant, and Matt Chapman.
Matt Chapman.
The most league average third baseman in terms of positional WRC plus is Josh Donaldson at 101.
Interesting.
He has a 117 WRC plus, so he's 17% better than your average hitter, but he's only 1% better than your average qualified starting third baseman. So, yeah,
Where's Vlad on that list?
that's a solid question. Actually, you know what? He's probably not on this list, if I had to guess.
Not qualified?
He's not on this list. Yeah, not enough plate appearances
Mm.
since he missed at the beginning. Because don't forget, it's 3.5 plate appearances on average for your team's games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like a September call-up, like will never make this list, even if
Right.
they end up somehow getting 5
What-
or 6 plate appearances per game in
Why
September.
did they do that?
I don't know. I'm going to assume so. It's that you can keep like track of like regular contributions from players. So like, because when batting average is more important, if you only play 50 games and you end up getting like you're stupid hot for those 50 games.
Uh-huh.
And you end up getting like a 500 batting average or something, the sample size is so small. So I'm going to assume it was an old school way of just making sure that you were like actually playing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just all
Fair
I
enough.
got. Yeah.
I was just curious.
Because batting titles used to be way more important of a thing. Like they're still important now because players will use those for like their arbitration hearings and free agency. And it's still fun as a fan.
Yeah.
But like, that used to be a huge deal.
Because that's what everyone focused on.
Yeah, it was batting average was king.
Right. DJ LeMahieu.
DJ LeMahieu. So yeah, it's a very unsurprising list. The worst third base. Oh, I didn't even. That makes me sad. Who do you think the worst third baseman is?
Is
he a
Yankee?
No,
The worst third baseman.
qualified hitting for
for
third
qualified hitters.
baseman. It's gonna make you sad too.
Oh no. Is it Colin Moran?
Jose Ramirez.
Ooh.
He is a 67 WRC plus, which is good for a positional WRC plus of 58.
That's sad. That is really sad. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. Everything looks very bad for Jose Ramirez.
It's amazing because he like this isn't the first time he's done this where like he is like fantasy droppable and then just pulls it out of nowhere and has, an MVP level second half.
Yeah, I don't see anyone rooting against Jose Ramirez. Like,
Yeah.
if this was like a Yankees third baseman, I'm sure people would root against him because that's fair.
Right.
But yeah, that's just fucking unfortunate as hell. Hopefully he can turn it around. So I ended up last time we did this, I just did outfield as a whole, and you wanted to know what it looked like via positional outfield.
Mm-hmm.
So I did both because the All-Star game voting doesn't take like right field into consideration. It just does outfield. So I did both.
Perfect.
So with right field, the leader in WRC plus is the least surprising of all of them. It's Cody Bellinger.
Oh, yeah.
He's astonishing this season.
He is a perfect person.
It was a 187 WRC plus,
That's fucking nuts.
which is good for a 164 positional ones rated plus. So that goes down quite a bit.
Yeah, it does.
Second is Christian Yelich with a 180, so he's right there, which would go for a 157. And then Charlie Blackmon at 149
Wow.
with a 130 PwRC plus. I'm going to give you 3 entire guesses for 4th place on this list.
For right field.
Right field.
Amongst qualified hitters.
By WRC plus.
Mookie?
Nope. Mookie's number 12 on this list.
Oh, damn. I didn't know Mookie was having that bad of a year.
Yeah. Michael Conforto is having a better season.
Ooh, that's not a good sign.
No.
Austin Meadows?
He is number 5.
Okay.
One more guess.
For number 4?
Yep.
Fuck. Sweet Jesus, I don't know. Just give it to me.
Trey Mancini.
Fuck, I would not have gotten that with 100 guesses.
I know. I almost said, like, give me 10 entire guesses, but I'm like,
That
that's
would've
just too
taken
many.
forever,
You've never,
yeah.
like, you could sit there and just think of outfielders and just scrap right fielders entirely. And Trey fucking Mancini, 135 WRC plus. That's better than Austin Meadows, Max Kepler, Mookie Betts, who we mentioned before, Whit Merrifield, Hunter Renfroe, Domingo Santana, Bryce Harper, Franmil, like, better than everyone that's not Charlie Blackmon, Christian Yelich, and Cody Bellinger. Trey Mancini.
Just because you mentioned Whit Merrifield, don't get me wrong, I want to focus on how batshit crazy Trey Mancini is. But just because you mentioned Whit Merrifield, I don't remember the name of the Royals manager, but during a press conference today, he was like, yeah, Merrifield's a great player. He has, more base hits or whatever it is than Mike Trout right now, and nobody's talking about it. And then someone commented, and it was like, yeah, if Mike Trout had 9 hits over his next 115 plate appearances, he would... Fuck, what happened? My brain died. All right, fuck it, move on. I gotta... My brain absolutely just shit the bed.
Would it be like he still have, like, a higher, like, OPS or some shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I am...
It's just gone?
Yeah.
That's okay, buddy.
Fuck.
Let's just move right on to center field. So, this also has the least surprising leader in the world. You want to take a stab there, bud?
Mike Trout?
Mike Trout. Michael Nelson Trout. He leads with a 178 WRC plus, and guess what his PwRC plus is, with his positional adjustment, with center field being a generally more defensive position than offensive.
200.
Oh, so you think it goes up?
I don't know.
Oh, well, that would have made sense, actually, since it's defensive. No, it goes down.
Ah.
Because your average center fielder is also hitting better than average this year.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes down, not a lot. It goes down to 174. But still, like, fucking shit,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want Mike Trout to have a 200 WRC plus because Mike Trout, but I like it when players are good at baseball, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Second place is Ketel Marte of the Diamondbacks. Third place is Ronald Acuna of the Braves, which just this drop-off is hilarious. So Mike Trout's WRC plus of 178 leads the pack. You then must take 44 points off the WRC plus to get to Ketel Marte at 134. And then Acuna and Kepler are both tied at 130. Just to show you how great Trout is at this. I bet if you took out his 178, the average center fielder, like Ketel Marte's 134, would be higher. Not by a lot. Maybe like instead of 134, 135, 136, But I bet you it'd go up a little bit.
Still be higher.
Yeah. Our most average center fielder is Starling. It is Ian Desmond of the Rockies, who is at...
Should be Starling.
Actually, he's next on the list. That's why I almost said his name.
Okay.
Ian Desmond is a 102 WRC plus hitter, and for center field, he is a 100. I should also mention that our most average right field hitter is Jason Hayward of the Cubs, a 115 WRC plus, and a positional weighted runs created plus of 101. We now move on to left field. Got any guesses for me, bud?
In left field,
Ooh, this is a tricky one.
I don't think I'm going to get this.
Jeff McNeil.
He's hitting his fucking ass off this year. I believe it.
148.
Damn.
WRC plus. His PwRC plus, it goes down as left field is not a defensive position at all.
No.
To 128.
That's still pretty impressive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good
Absolutely.
on Jeff McNeil.
Second place is Juan Soto with a 141 WRC plus for a
Love you,
122 PwRC plus. Third is Michael Brantley of the Astros, 133 WRC plus to a 115 PwRC plus. And so fourth is Tommy Pham of the Rays, a 132 WRC plus, good for a 114 PwRC plus. And Ronald Acuna Jr. in fifth, of the Braves at a 130 WRC plus and a 112 PwRC plus. Our most average hitting left fielder is Eddie Rosario of the Twins, who is batting 116 by WRC plus, but 100 even
That's
in
actually
PwRC plus.
very surprising to me. I thought Eddie Rosario would be much higher.
Yeah, no, he is 13th on this list.
All right, go for it. Sure thing.
So then I have outfield overall, and it's basically as expected because we went through the top already. Trey Mancini is still in the top 10. JD Martinez also enters the fold where he was not before. And the positional adjustment, of course, goes down because outfield is generally a hitter's position to play. So Cody Bellinger's 187 WRC plus goes down to 167, which is actually slightly higher than it was before because we've entered in the still well hitting but less well hitting than the corner outfield spots being center field. So his the positional tick down is not so severe. But that is all the same players I listed before, so there's no point in repeating myself. And last but not least, we have DH.
This is going to be weird. I have a feeling.
Do you think leads DH in WRC plus?
Daniel Vogelbach.
Daniel Vogelbach.
Yep.
Second, he leads it with a 143 WRC plus, good for a 126 positional. Damn it! I keep saying ones we created. A positional weighted runs created plus of 126. Then it's Luke Voigt, JD Martinez, Austin Meadows, and Edwin Encarnacion with a 140, 137, 132, 128. I don't feel like reading all these numbers again. So, yeah. The worst DH in the league is also going to make you sad.
Is it make me sad?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Jake Bauers.
Yeah. He's not been great this year.
79 WRC plus.
I was going to think, if you had to make me guess, I would have said Hunter Pence.
Well, no, and I'll get to that later, too.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Our most average DH is Jose Abreu of the White Sox with a 112 WRC plus, good for a 99 PwRC plus. So despite him being 12% better than the league average hitter, he is 1% worse than his DH counterparts. So, let's take this and look at the All-Star game.
Before we do, I found that thing that I just fucking died on
Go
about
ahead.
a minute and a half ago. The manager said his first name is Ned. It doesn't give his last name, and I don't care. Witt's got more total bases than Mike Trout, which is true, but also super misleading. Trout would need 9 total bases in his next 77 at-bats, which is good for a 117 slugging percentage to equal Merrifield in both total bases and at-bats. That's what I was trying to say earlier
That makes
before I
sense.
literally had a stroke.
That makes sense.
Thank you, MLB Random Stats on Twitter.
Oh, right on. Way to go, MLB Random Stats.
Yeah.
All right, so I have the actual starting lineups, or starting roster, I should say, for the AL and the NL, and what I've done is I've just put next to their names what their PwRC plus is, which is really, I'll get to that, and where that ranks amongst their positional group.
Okay. Is this just starters?
Just the starters,
Okay.
because doing all the
It'll take forever.
yeah, fuck that shit. And plus, I was about to start, but plus some of the reserves are there just because
They have to be.
they need to represent their team.
Which I do want to mention something later, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, I want to mention something about it too, so we'll get to all that kind of stuff later. So first, we'll start with the NL because that's what I wrote down first. Wilson Contreras, he has a 139 PwRC plus, which is good for first place. So he
Good for him.
makes total sense.
Yep.
Freddie Freeman is the NL starting first baseman. He has a 124 PwRC plus, which is third.
Behind Josh Bell, which should have won.
And Pete Alonso.
But most importantly, Josh Bell.
Second base is Ketel Marte, who has a 135 PwRC plus.
I don't remember who won it, but I feel like he's going to be second.
He is second. He is just behind Max Muncy of the Dodgers.
I didn't know Max Muncy played second base.
Max Muncy's been used kind of all around the diamond this year. He has starts at first, second, and third this year.
Do you know if it's raining right now?
Yeah, a lot.
My window's open.
Okay, I'm going to keep going. You go close your windows. After that, we have Javi Baez.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's really bad, bud.
It's so wet.
You got this. Javi Baez, who has a 114 PwRC plus, which is good
Pray
for
for me,
second. Pray for Corwin. He is only behind in NL batters Manny Machado of the Padres with his 116 PwRC plus. Then Nolan Arenado, starting for third base with his 112 PwRC plus, is good for fourth. So there's three entire batters leading Nolan Arenado just in the NL by WRC plus that he got picked in place of. Then for the outfield again, since there are no positional adjustments for outfield, by that I mean there's no distinction between right field, left field, and center field. You'll notice that two of these guys play the same position when it comes to being on an actual baseball diamond. It is Christian Yelich, Cody Bellinger, and Ronald Acuna Jr., and they are good for... Christian Yelich has a 161 PwRC plus, which is second, right behind Cody Bellinger's 167 PwRC plus, which is first. And then Ronald Acuna Jr., well short of that mark, at a 116 PwRC plus, which is eighth in the National League. Quite far below the rest of his companions. So there's 5 batters ahead of him who were not selected just in the National League that are batting above his mark that did not get picked. Corwin just got back, and he is soaked to the brim. I'm going to repeat my last point for him just so we can hear it. The two standouts on this list are Nolan Arenado, who's batting 112 PwRC plus with you can grab a towel if you want from my bathroom. Who's fourth in the National League by WRC plus, and then Ronald Acuna Jr. has a PwRC plus of 116, which puts him at eighth, just in the National League, by outfielders.
What the fuck?
Yeah, just in the National League. 8 batters are ahead of him, including the two who made the thing. So 5 batters who didn't get selected that are ahead of him.
Who's ahead of him?
Let's see. Ronald Acuna Jr. is there. So just in the National League, Ketel Marte, who did get selected elsewhere.
Right.
Juan Soto, Chris Bryant, Jeff McNeil, and Charlie Blackmon.
Interesting.
Right.
Huh.
Go figure.
Shit. Yeah, I don't know. So I just want to say, I sprinted very fast to my car. I'm very wet. I lost my real keys, so I don't have like the thing to unlock the fob. I had to use the key to unlock the door. As I was rushing to get into the car, like the key got stuck, and I was like, fuck it, I'll get it when I run out. Closed the door, composed myself, realized I can't put up the window until I turn on the car, and had to go back outside for my key, and it was a whole thing.
You did that pretty quick.
Yeah, I ran very fast.
Let's go to the AL. Gary Sanchez is our starting catcher for the American League for the All-Star game. What? Oh, just wet? Yeah. He has a 135 PwRC plus, which is good for second in the AL. Carlos Santana, starting first baseman, he has a 120 PwRC plus, which is first. DJ LeMahieu, starting at second base, he has a 147 PwRC plus, which is also first. Jorge Polanco, starting at shortstop with a 126 PwRC plus, and he is fourth in the AL for shortstops by that metric.
Damn. Who's ahead of him?
This is going to be one of the points. So Bregman, who got selected
elsewhere.
to third, but ahead of him, additionally, is also Xander Bogaerts and Gleyber Torres.
Okay.
both who were on the ballot for shortstop. Then it's Alex Bregman in third with a 128 PwRC plus, which is first. And then we have Mike Trout, George Springer, and Michael Brantley for the outfield positions.
I have a feeling Mike Trout's going to be first.
So, George Springer's not a qualified hitter. So,
interesting.
Because he missed a lot of time with the IL.
Do you know how long he was out for?
Like a month.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he missed a lot of time.
Granted, he was really fucking amazing when he was playing, which I can see why you would still want to elect him now that he's healthy again. But continuing on with your point.
So, Mike Trout is a 159 PwRC plus hitter when it comes to the outfield as a whole. He got benefited a lot by being in center field, which is why it's a little bit lower than his center field metric. His center field metric was 174, so it got brought down a lot because of the better hitters in the corner spots. George Springer, because he has a smaller sample size, is actually a 164 PwRC plus hitter right now.
Wow.
WRC plus. Actually, I don't think
we know what you meant.
Actually, no, I don't think I gave him the positional adjustment. I'm just realizing I don't think I put him in that metric.
Oh.
So if we bump off the 20 points, approximately that he would have gotten bumped off, he would be 144, which for the AL would put him actually second.
Which is fine.
Yeah, which is fine. So Mike Trout would have been first with his 159. George Springer would be second with his 144, although, again, not enough plate appearances to count in terms of, like, if he was eligible for the batting title at this point, which you're obviously not, but he would not be eligible.
Do you think he'll be able to build up enough plate appearances for the rest of the season?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
Yeah, not even a question. And then Michael Brantley is fifth, counting George Springer in front of him, as I believe how I did this, with a 119 PwRC plus, which is actually lower than I was expecting.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be that low.
Yeah. I
was surprised he got selected in the first place. I really didn't think he'd get the votes.
I'm also surprised because the Astros have 6 players going to the All-Star game. To the Yankees, 2.
Weird.
Yeah. I guess, sorry. No. The Yankees have 4. I forgot about Chapman and Ottavino.
But pitchers are, different.
Yeah. So go figure.
So Voit didn't get selected at all.
Neither did Gleyber Torres.
Wow.
And for reference, Voit is
very high. Isn't he first?
He's second in the AL for PwRC plus, for WRC plus even, just behind Carlos Santana, and Gleyber Torres is third in WRC plus, which Xander Bogaerts is also a crime he did not make it, but go figure.
Yeah, that's weird.
So Hunter Pence,
who made it for the Red Sox? Mookie, at least.
He's a reserve.
No starters for the Red Sox?
No.
I know Mookie made it. I know JD made it as a reserve.
Both reserves, because I'm looking at the starting lineup right here, and they're not in it. Yeah.
I have it right here.
But no, Mookie and JD 100% are the only two. Unless Chris Sale got announced as being one of the pitchers, but I didn't pay attention to that.
I can pull it up right here.
But so listen to this.
I'm listening.
Hunter Pence got the selection for the DH. What do you think his WRC plus is? Not positional WRC plus, just WRC plus.
I'm sorry, what player was this again?
Hunter Pence.
WRC plus of like 108?
142.
No kidding.
Not kidding.
What the fuck, Hunter? Where'd you come from?
So if you take off the approximately 17 points that the position took off for everybody else, at the top of this bar, he would go down to about 125, which is one single point below Daniel Vogelbach.
Wow.
So I'd say they got that one right.
Yeah. No, honestly, good on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to say so.
So Chris Sale did not make it.
He had a rough first half. So I guess those are the only two guys, right?
Yeah.
Did I mention that Hunter Pence wasn't on the other thing because he also doesn't have enough plate appearances to qualify? Did I say that?
You didn't, at least when I was here.
Okay, then I didn't at all. Yeah, the reason Hunter Pence didn't come up in the last one is because he also does not have enough plate appearances to qualify because he also spent time in the IL, which has more effect on qualifying in the first half than it does in the second half. Okay, so now if we did this strictly by WRC plus, PwRC plus, we get, starting for the National League catcher, Wilson Contreras, with 139. Pete Alonso or Josh Bell with 130.
Josh Bell.
At second base, Max Muncy with a 144. Shortstop would be Manny Machado at 116. Third base would be Anthony Rendon with 136. Outfield would be Cody Bellinger, Christian Yelich, which are both the same as it was last time, but instead of Ronald Acuna Jr., it would be Charlie Blackmon, with Cody Bellinger's 167 PwRC plus, Christian Yelich's 161, and Charlie Blackmon's 163. So what do you think about this All-Star lineup as compared to the actual one?
I feel roughly the same.
I think I like this so much more. I genuinely think I like this a lot more.
On the right side?
Over here.
Oh, down.
Yeah, you see how it's labeled American League and it's National League.
Again, Josh, I just want to reiterate, I literally do not know how to read. So, outside of Max Muncy, just because I don't feel like he plays enough second base to really signify
I'm fine with Ketel Marte being there instead.
Yeah, like, other than that, I'm all about this. Maybe Juan Soto instead of Charlie Blackmon, but that's just because I'm a homer. Not a homer, but I like Juan Soto. Yeah, I'm all about this. Put Rendon in there.
I like this a lot more. I really got to say, because I felt like Freddie Freeman was a clunky choice. I do not like Ronald Acuna Jr. being there at all.
Yeah,
I just do not think he's earned it.
I don't think his defense is good enough to signify him being 8th in batting.
Yeah, I mean, plus he just straight up doesn't deserve it. I mean, he just hasn't been impressive this year.
He really hasn't.
Or at least in terms of like what he was last season.
And being an all-star starter.
Right.
He's still very good. Don't get us wrong.
Yes. So, for the AL, it is James McCann starting at catcher with a 137 PwRC plus, Carlos Santana with a 120, DJ LeMahieu at second with a 147, Xander Bogaerts your starting shortstop at 132 because Alex Bregman would be your starter at third base with a 128, which I thought was more fair. And then our outfield would be Mike Trout, J.D. Martinez, and Trey Mancini. Although J.D. Martinez is more prototypically your DH, he gets outfield reps, I guess. Between his DH reps and outfield reps, he had enough to qualify, and they just lumped him in at the outfield. So Mike Trout's 159, J.D. Martinez's PwRC plus of 122, and Trey Mancini's PwRC plus of 121. And your DH would be Daniel Vogelbach by one singular point over Hunter Pence. I feel weird about this one, but I think I actually like it better. It's quirkier.
I can't say it's definitely quirkier. Don't get me wrong. I can't say I like it more though. I like Polanco in over Bogaerts. I don't like Martinez and Mancini in the outfield.
I don't like Martinez there.
I do
like
Vogelbach
Mancini there.
over Pierce.
I think Mancini because the Orioles representative at the All-Star game. Do you know who it is?
Yeah, it's one of their.
No,
pitchers.
look at me in the eyes. Do you know who it is?
By name, no.
John Means.
Yeah, I knew it was some pitcher who is not worthy of being an All-Star.
He's fine. He's having a nice little breakout season for him.
Nice shouldn't make
Trey
you an
Mancini
All-Star.
is genuinely good this year.
Yeah,
like genuinely good. I really think I would have rather him be there.
I agree.
Although I would definitely change out J.D. Martinez and probably keep George Springer.
I would say make Mancini I would say keep Brantley in as a starter. Honestly, between Brantley and Mancini, I couldn't care less. It's just Martinez being there over Springer that I just am not about.
Yeah,
but Mancini, I can get behind that.
If we didn't count Martinez and went one below him, actually it would be Michael Brantley.
So there we go.
Yeah. Anyway, so before we
Brantley's is still higher than Springer?
Well, again, Springer's not on my spreadsheet.
Right, but like if he was, never mind.
Well, no, because we did that earlier.
Right. I'm just saying.
So done. One last thing before I get to one more thing I should say before I get to the last thing I had prepared is.
Were you complaining about selections for the All-Stars?
No, not yet.
Okay, is that the last thing you have?
No, but now that you mention it, we can.
Yeah, I definitely want to complain about some shit.
So, listening to these PwRC pluses, because that's the reason I left them as the PwRC plus instead of being the WRC plus, so that you could see how this changes when the positions get introduced to the All-Star game. So for catchers, the PwRC plus is 139 and 135 respectively for AL and NL. So all NL and AL, I should say. First base, 124 and 120. Second base, 135 and 147. Shortstop, 114, 126. Third base, 112 and 128. And then outfield, 167, 161, 116. For AL, 159, 144, 119. And you'll see, because I think we generally think of these positions as being drastically different, which is very true.
Yeah.
It really just shows how when you put them by position, it does even out a lot more.
Yeah.
Because if you left the positions the same and didn't issue the adjustment like we did, which serves no true purpose other than just examining, the lowest WRC plus that would be in it would be, I guess, I'm actually not sure offhand. I guess it would be Javi Baez's or Nolan Arenado's, which feels weird to say. But it would be Nolan Arenado's, whose actual WRC plus is, where'd you go, Nolan? 129, as compared to the highest WRC plus that's coming into this bad boy at 187. And so to kind of even it out a little bit, I don't know. I think it looks kind of nice to have it with the positional adjustment there, so you can really see contributional difference.
I do too. Enunciation.
So the very last thing I had is if there was no positions, and you just put
straight by WRC
the top
plus
9 players. And I just did. This is just WRC plus because at this point I didn't feel
there's no positions, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Why would you have the positional adjustment? So the top 9 batters by WRC plus in the National League: Cody Bellinger at 187, Christian Yelich at 180, Josh Bell at 159, tied with Pete Alonso at 159. Anthony Rendon at 157, Freddie Freeman at 152, Charlie Blackmon at 149, Jeff McNeil at 148, and Chris Bryant at 143.
Damn.
That's actually a really cool all-star
Yeah,
team.
that is pretty fucking cool.
So,
not a whole lot of defense.
No.
But who cares?
So if I had to put together a lineup, I think... Who would you have catch?
Out of these guys? Honestly, I would genuinely think Anthony Rendon would be a really good catcher.
I was thinking Pete Alonso just because it'd be funny.
That would be funny. But I think Rendon is a sneaky good catcher with no information to back me up on that.
Let's just assign one of them a DH to take... No, because you can't... Because there's still no catcher. All right, so I'm going to say outfield of Christian Yelich, Charlie Blackmon, and Jeff McNeil. No, it's got to be Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, McNeil's got to be the
infield. I was
infield.
wondering if I could put Cody at first, but we have 2 first basemen there.
Yeah,
so all right, so Cody Bellinger, Christian Yelich, and Charlie Blackmon in the outfield.
We have 3 first basemen there.
Oh fuck, we do. Damn it. Josh Bell at first, Pete Alonso at second.
Okay.
Jeff McNeil at short.
Yep.
Chris Bryant at third.
Rendon catching.
Sure, Rendon catch. Okay. Yeah, because no, Anthony Rendon can catch. Jeff McNeil does everything, so let him catch. He's a weird dude who just seemingly does everything.
So put Rendon at third or short.
All right. So hold on. Rendon at third. Alonso at second. Bell at first. Shortstop can be Chris Bryant. And
we just put Rendon at shortstop.
Freddie Freeman's DHing?
I guess. I would put Freddie at first and Bell at DH if we're doing anything.
Well, I guess actually I only was supposed to pick 8 since they don't have a DH. So I fucked
Chris
up.
Bryant.
So yeah, sorry Chris Bryant, but you're coming off this list. All right, so hold on. Outfield: Cody Bellinger. I'm gonna select them as so we can keep track. Christian Yelich and Charlie Blackmon.
Yes.
Oh, I fucked that up. First base.
We don't have a DH, so Josh Bell.
Okay, cool. Same, I agree. Second base.
Pete Alonso.
I still think that's fair. It's a short throw. It's not too difficult.
He's young. He still has some movement.
Fuck him. Third base, I think, should be Rendon.
I agree.
Shortstop, I think Jeff McNeil.
I agree.
And that puts Freddie Freeman at catcher.
Yes. Which...
Yeah.
Yeah, just go for it, Freddie. Just sit there.
Yeah, figure it out.
With this team, we're not worried about them scoring runs anyway because we're going to have to score them all.
It's going to be like slow pitch softball.
Yeah,
or you just put some guy back there.
Just a dude.
All right. So for the AL, Mike Trout with a WRC plus of 178. Followed by Alex Bregman with 148, Carlos Santana with 146, DJ LeMahieu with 145, Daniel Vogelbach at 143, Xander Bogaerts at 141, Matt Chapman at 140, Luke Voigt at 140, and Gleyber Torres at 137. This is a
serious,
lot more even.
Yeah, this is a serious actual lineup that we could put together here. Mike Trout, I think we should put him in center field.
Definitely our outfielder. Also in the outfield. Actually, we don't have a lot of outfielders. We have a lot of infielders.
We only have one outfielder.
So let's start with the infield then.
Okay.
First base is probably going to be Luke Voigt, and we're probably going to
we got a
first
DH
baseman.
Vogelbach. Have you seen Vogelbach run?
I was going to say we have a lot of first basemen because we also have Carlos Santana on this list.
I think Voigt is going to have to move to the right field.
Actually, let's put him in left field because
Left. Okay, yeah.
Worst throw. Yeah. So let's say Carlos Santana at first.
Vogelbach DHing. At second base is going to be LeMahieu. Yes.
At shortstop will be we'll put.
Or do you want to put Bregman at short?
No, Bregman's got to be third because we have two shortstops right now.
Matt Chapman at third.
Fuck, we have so many infielders. Okay. All right, here's my take. Ready? Okay. First base, Carlos Santana.
Yes.
Second base, Gleyber Torres.
Yes.
No, second base, DJ LeMahieu. I changed my mind.
Okay.
No, second base, Gleyber Torres. Change it again.
Oh,
Shortstop.
my God.
Shortstop is Xander Bogaerts.
Okay.
Third base is Matt Chapman.
Thank you.
Right field is DJ LeMahieu
Okay.
because he's been a utility player, so why not?
Sure.
Center field's Mike Trout.
Yep.
Left field is Alex Bregman
Okay.
because why not?
Yep. DH is
And
Vogelbach.
Catcher is who's left? Luke Voigt.
Luke Voigt's our catcher.
I'm sorry,
right.
Luke.
We could put Vogelbach at catcher and not give
Let
him
him be
pads.
Williams Astudillo.
Yeah, be Williams Astudillo, and you don't even have to give him catcher gear because he could just, take it.
What do we think?
If I had to take a lineup, I would take the AL. Just because I think that team can play so much better defense than the NL.
Yeah,
And
probably.
I think the offense is kind of a wash.
Yeah, I mean, after you get past the Bellinger-Yelich combo,
NL's
it does even out a lot.
Yeah.
Granted, I'd say the NL's really got him there. I mean,
NL has the power, AL has the defense.
that's true.
And as long as the NL's not hitting a home run every play, which they could if they wanted to, I think the AL would win that.
That's fair. All right, so that's all I had prepared.
Fuck yeah. The only thing I want to talk about is the fact that I don't like that every team has to have a player at the All-Star game.
Why?
Because guys like Sandy Alcantara are now All-Stars. Have you
Really,
followed?
Sandy was the choice?
Yeah.
All right. I
Do
don't
you know? Do you know what his stats are for this year?
I'm going to say his ERA is somewhere north of 4.
It's not, but it's close.
What is it?
It's a 3.86.
That's fine.
He's
It's good. I'll say that's good. It's not great. It's good.
He's 4-7. He has pitched 95 innings and given up 91 runs. 41 earned
He's pitched
runs.
91 innings and he's
95
95 innings with 91 runs?
91 hits.
Oh, hits. You said
Yeah.
runs. I was going to say
I was moving on to runs.
Okay.
48 runs, 43 walks, only 65 strikeouts, ERA plus of 106, a whip of 1.4, a FIP of 4.5, gives up roughly 9 hits per 9, walks 4 per 9, and only gets 6 strikeouts per 9. And he is an all-star this year. I just don't agree with that in any way.
So
I know that if Caleb Smith wasn't hurt right now, he would be in the All-Star game, which he should be, and I think he would be arguing in the conversation for starter. But I can't get behind Sandy being an All-Star.
I'm actually okay with it. In general, I think you're right. That's a terrible choice. But that's a coach and pitcher and player choice. It's not up to any other body. That's the guy that they felt was right, which
again, I hate. But at the same time, I think by and large you get the right players going, even if it is only one player from bad teams. Maybe Garrett Cooper would be a better choice here as a batter with his 136 WRC plus, or sorry, OPS plus, or even Neil Walker. Oh wow, Starlin Castro's having a rough go of things.
If it was Trevor Richards instead of Sandy Alcantara as a pitcher, I'd agree with that more.
Well, Sandy Alcantara is actually having a better year than Trevor Richards.
Richards had some really awful outings, but I feel like he's been more consistently successful.
It looks like they have a decent reliever in Austin Bryce, Jordan Yamamoto. Well, I know has not been here long enough to be considered.
Same with Zach Gallen.
But I think that there would be better choices. I like the rule though. I do. I am still in favor of it. Yeah.
I don't know. I get why they have it. It would suck because a lot of teams wouldn't have players very often if it wasn't a rule. I know I just have to live with the fact that this is a year where their best player by so much was hurt right at the All-Star break, so he couldn't get in. And that's just the way life is. But I just don't... Like, the end effect is what I just don't agree with.
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from, because it's going to be a weird tick on that baseball reference page when you check it. Like, really? All-Star?
He was an All-Star?
But I think at the end of the day, it doesn't diminish the All-Star game too much. And it'll be a great bargaining chip for him when payday comes around. And as we all know, Josh's team get that money. So, big fan of players getting weird bargaining chips. So,
do you think when it actually comes around to like his arbitration, he's like, "Well, I was an All-Star."
100%.
Do you think they would just sit there and be like, "Were you?"
And he'll get to say, "Yeah, I was," because guess what, you guys, especially because he's a pitcher, you guys picked me to be your representative because you basically said this is the best player on the team that year.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
that is a good point. I was literally the best player on the team at that point,
and that you guys got to choose. You picked me.
God, I love when your voice just goes into super like ridiculous impersonations. You're like Bill Cosby. You guys.
Now pass me the wooden props. Put a roofie in it. All right.
Hard yikes.
Anything else about the All-Star game?
Are you more excited for the home run derby than you are for the All-Star game?
Usually, yeah.
I definitely am this year.
When is this shit?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure the All-Star game is next Tuesday.
So
I want to say the home run derby's probably
Monday, the July 8th.
Is that the derby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll definitely going to tune in. Looks like they'll have like a fun crowd this year, as they usually do.
I feel like this year especially is like a really
actually.
Good
I'm
group.
tempted to say that the home run derby is probably out of every All-Star game or Pro Bowl or whatever, home run derby is probably the one selection group that is most consistently done right.
Yes.
Granted, like there's some people you wish you could see in it who won't partake because they say it hurts, and I am inclined to agree. But out of the people that they do get to actually do it, I'd say by and large, home run derby, always cool.
It's fucking Google autocorrect. I was looking at players in home run derby, and it corrected to Players House RuneScape. I don't play RuneScape. I did maybe when I was 12.
I think I made an account but got confused by the gameplay and then stopped.
Yeah, it was a weird game for sure. All right, so we have Josh Bell, Christian Yelich, Vladimir Guerrero, Ronald Acuna, Pete Alonso.
I'm very excited for Josh Bell in that group.
And Carlos Santana.
Oh, okay. I think the guy, the hometown boy in there.
They have a bunch of... Oh, never mind. They were like, players rumored to join, but there's like 15 people here, so...
Yeah, it's too much to fuck with right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with the home run derby is usually the best chosen and also one of the most fun to watch.
For sure. All right, let's wrap it up.
One last thing.
Okay.
What do you think the winning home run total is? Like, whoever wins it, what do you think their
Like in the last round or overall?
last round?
I'm going to say it's a lower number just for fun. I'm going to say it's like 27.
27 is a very high number.
Is it?
Yeah. I think the most ever is like 28.
Oh, was it really?
I was going to guess high and go 22.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
actually, what won it last year?
F-
I feel bad now because I genuinely thought that like 30 wasn't an uncommon number to get.
no, it's like very not high. Like, there was one time where a guy hit a single home run, and that was it.
Yeah, well, fuck that guy. He just don't be so cheeks at it, you know. Winner was Bryce Harper in 2018 with 19. So yeah, you're right. 27's high. All right, then I'll say 16.
All right, I'm going to go with 22.
Okay. Cool.
We'll come back in like 3 weeks and not remember what we picked, but
100%.
yep, but we'll figure it out.
All right, well, if you guys want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at JuicingPod. If you want to hit us up via Gmail, you can do so at juicingthenumbers@gmail.com. And if you want to find the show notes for this episode and all previous episodes, you can do so at juicingthenumbers.wixsite.com/website. And until our Monday episode, y'all have a good one.
Matt Chapman.